Stay facts. Believe only half what you see and none of what you hear unless I said it, because I stay facts. Calling this live the world news. It is so much going on right now in the world. How y'all doing today? It's so much going on, but the hottest topic of the day, right, is the Young Thug situation with the allegations, with solid allegations of being a rat. Solid allegations of being a snitch. I did make my post about it, y'all. I made my post. And I got my genius way of socking into your ass. But it's a lesson to be learned in all this, right? And I'm always on the side of pointing out the lesson, highlighting the lesson.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So let's start with this Young Thug situation. And then we're going to move on to the situation where the guy and his wife or his girlfriend was at football practice at 2 a.m. I want to touch bases on that. Shit just don't make no sense, right? But this was going on in the world. So that's why I'm calling world news. Anyway, again, believe only half what you see, none of what you hear. Unless I said it because I state facts. Young Thug. First and foremost, not to discredit or take anything away from the man craft and his music and, you know, what he enjoyed doing. Yet and still, we know who this guy is. You can tell by how he dressed. You can tell by how he present himself from the beginning all the way up to now. So it shouldn't be no surprise to nobody that the man snitched. Shouldn't be no surprise. You know, the lesson in this is the way the police officers and these detectives and these special investigators, the way they choose to deal with the shit. So they get y'all to talk, they get y'all to snitch on each other, and then they go tell the other guy that you ratting and he ratting and he ratting. So all y'all being recorded. Now you know you being recorded while you being interrogated. You know you being recorded, right? And at some point, I know what Thug probably did. 9 times out of 10, Young Thug, he did was he paid somebody to conceal this information that was put out there, right, about him. Some people say, oh, it was AI. Some people say, I don't believe shit either, to be honest with y'all. When I make my post, I just drive it. I'm, get the kicks out of the shit. But the learning process from it. Anyway, he probably paid somebody off to not be exposed. Then he probably pissed somebody else off who went with the move and exposed him. Either way it go, that's how they do. That's what they do. They build you up in America and then they tear you down, especially as a black man. Young black men, they don't want to see us up and with it and got it. They don't want to see that. They want to see us heavily divided, heavily separated. I mention that because Lil Woody said this. From, used to be a YSL, whatever, Lil Woody, if y'all know. He said that, like, I seen the post he made, and it made a lot of fucking sense. Yet and still, just because he ratted on you, we call that getting down first where we from. Getting down first, and nobody ever be able to point the finger at the right person who started ratting in the first place. And those people, they sit right there talking about our judicial system. They sit right there and watch y'all dumb black ass humiliate each other. So again, let's get back to Young Thug. We already know who he was. You know who he is. He wear a dress, paint his fingernails, There's nowhere in the world you beat a RICO case. If we say that, that's really being honest to say that it's really not a RICO case. They gonna slam it. And like I said again, I mentioned anybody who take the plea, take a little probation, lesser sentence. You're a snitch if you take the plea. And when I snippet this and cut it out and clip it, they call it. Once I clip this, I'm gonna put this in there. That's fine facts so y'all can post. if you're out here doing criminal activity involving indulging or whatever in criminal activity, especially as older guys, if you're still fucking with it and you still indulging in it, you go to jail. And you go through that motherfucker. After you tell them what your name is, if you don't have a suit, which is a lawyer, if you don't have a suit to speak for you, they give you one. But the minute you take the plea, you're ratting on yourself or you're ratting on somebody else. What you're doing is Young Thug, Gunna, and all the rest of you guys. Like I said, I'm trying to, for the youngins that get to see this, I'm trying to get the learning lesson out of this shit. Because it keep happening over and over and over to our creators, our actors, our music, our rappers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
when is somebody gonna get the picture? They targeting y'all one at a time. Each one of y'all. There's no more rappers left. That's why they talk that shit about Kendrick, and I'm gonna keep talking about Thug shit. They talk that shit about Kendrick, but you notice, drop that shit and you got the fuck back out the way. You got the fuck back out the way. Anyway, so if you take the plea, you're a fucking snitch. You're a rat. Conspiracy start with what? In certain states, 10 to 15 years in prison. Conspiracy means for your ass to know that my ass is doing criminal activity. All you have to do is know. All you have to do is know. You get 10 years just from knowing I'm doing criminal activity. If I was doing criminal activity. Y'all don't know that? But y'all want to hang out with people who doing criminal activity. Just don't know. You're going to jail too. If they want you. Like they did. They went and picked up everybody. So everybody that's in your phone, they going to jail. All the text messages to people, they going to bring that shit up in court one way or the other. And then guess what they're going to sit you down and say? They're going to say, well, I ain't asking you to snitch on nobody. You ain't got to rat on nobody. You don't have to take the stand. Thug, Gunna, all y'all. I'm going to keep saying the names so y'all can know what I'm talking about. You ain't got to get on the stand and rat on nobody. Look, just take this plea. Just take this plea. Just take this little probation. You already been down 2-3 years. Just take these 5 years. We give you credit for time served. You go. You go on back home to your family, Get back to your stunning. They had like 2 hours of tape on this dude. Then, Thug, you mentioned bird name. You mentioned stunner.
Oh my God.
You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't mention other people in your bullshit, partner. You stand on intent. You could talk that and you could tell by the music. Listen to all Thug music. Beautiful music. Beautiful writer, beautiful artist. Very creative. Very artistic. All this extra shit. Anyway. But you could tell he the type to rap. Right? The way he dressed. You well dressed. You a rat. But you a snitch. So, and you can't hide from it. You can't run from it. And these folks, they gonna make sure of that. They gonna release that. So here's the lesson to you youngins. Like I said, take your lick. You're gonna point your finger. You're pointing your finger at other people talking about, or even bringing up other people's names.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So anybody won't stand in the gap. Oh, Thug ain't do this. That's AI. Anybody won't. Listen, if you're not doing it, it shouldn't even be affiliated with your name. Oh yeah, we know how social media do. Oh yeah, we know how all that shit go. We know how all this work. We know AI. We know all this shit going on, right? So we know this shit could be made up. We do.
Wow.
Yet and still, this shit shouldn't be affiliated with your name. People knew this already, though, right? We were looking at the trial when he started talking, what he started talking about. We already knew this. We already knew the dude ratted. We knew this. So what I think is, like, and how y'all doing this season 2? What's up, y'all? Who is paying attention? What he need to do is confess. Stop trying to fight the power. Confess. Teach these young boys a lesson so they can know. Yeah, stand up and say you're a snitch. Like Terrence Williams did in the city. Kind of. Yeah, and still, Young Thug did that bad. And we already know it. We're not surprised now, right? We just speaking on it because that's what's happening. That's why I'm calling this live world news. We're gonna get back to Thug though, with his ratting ass. Stop pointing your finger at other people. Stop talking about other people. Believe only half what you see and none of what you hear. That's I said it because I state facts.